Greetings everyone and welcome to the spring 2016 semester. My name is Dr. Sessoms and I will be your teacher for ELED 318. This video will give you an overview of my classes and how to access your assignments, as well as how to submit your assignments. If you take a look in the bottom right corner, you'll notice that I'm set for student view right now. So this is exactly what you should see when you log in. So right now when you log in, you'll be on the home page. And then if you scroll down, you'll see some information. You want to read that middle section so it'll shape your learning experiences throughout the course. Then you want to take a look at the required materials. We have Google Docs here. We'll use that for all our written work. Microsoft Office will not be accepted, and that's not a knock against Microsoft Office. It's just to force you to use something different and to dig deeper into learning how to use it. As learners, sometimes we'll fall back on the things that we already know how to do and not push ourselves forward. You need a live text account, so if you do not have one, you can go to the bookstore to purchase that, or you can go to livetext.com. There's some free memberships that you want to check out, and you'll need these for one of your other assignments that I'll mention in a few minutes. So this one, ThinkPort, is designed for Maryland educators, so that's something you want to get familiar with. It has tons of resources on it. It has professional development like workshops and online classes. It has all kinds of resources that you might want to take advantage of. You'll need a USB headset. We'll do some recordings that'll require you to record with that so that you get the best possible audio. As a content producer, you want to make sure that you create high quality content for your classroom. And then for the textbook, there is no textbook. All of your readings were provided throughout the various assignments. So that's the home tab. Let me scroll back up. The next thing we'll take a look at is we'll skip down to assignments. That's just all the assignments. Grades, you'll go there when it's time to get grades, and you should spend time this semester making sure that you keep track of your grades. You should get notifications every time I submit comments and I submit a grade, and you should take a look at those and make sure that I'm accurate, because that's a good way in case I make a mistake, in case something was there that I missed. You want to make sure that you check your grades. It's half of your responsibility to keep track of it so that you don't fall behind. If you click on people, you'll be able to see who's in the class. And you'll need this because you'll need groups for one of your assignments. You will be doing something called a Google Hangout. The Hangouts will be a web-based discussion where you'll get online with your group, and each member of the group should be in a different place ideally. So I don't want you to sit around a computer and do this. You should each be off in your rooms somewhere, and then you'll collaborate online. You'll record the video and you'll put that video on your website, and we'll talk more about that later. But this tells you who's in the class, and you can contact them to set up your groups. Next we have the syllabus. This gives you an outline for the semester. It shows you what's due. It shows you what time it's due. So on Tuesdays at 11:59 p.m. your assignments are due. After 11:59 p.m. your work will not be accepted. So make sure you submit all of your work on time. There will be some assignments, however, that must be ready for class. So those assignments I will let you know, and you'll need to have it ready for class. For example, when we teach a lesson, so if we do when we do smart boards and when we do our digital stories, those will be presented to the class, so you'll need to make sure that that's ready for class. But one of your first assignments would be Universal Design for Learning. And this is a learning module, and all you'll need to do, and I'll click down here on modules, but you can access these either way. And let me close these so you can take a look. So I've organized these into some themes. And on the first module, this has all the course information. One thing that you'll need to do quickly, maybe within the next week or two, is complete this form. So if you click on it, it will take you here and then to a Google form. You'll enter your name. You'll enter a Digo username. Digo is one of the tools that we'll explore, and you'll use it to create a digital library. And we'll talk more about that momentarily. You'll create a class website, and you'll use a tool called Wix, and that'll go here. So you can't do this form until you've created these two items. So you'll wait to do that. All right, so let's go back, and we'll click back on modules. and then let's close this and go to long-term assignments. Now, the long-term assignments means that they're not due each week. For example, you won't submit a paper on next Tuesday, but you will make progress on these assignments throughout the semester, and you have to demonstrate that you're making progress on those assignments throughout the semester. But they won't be due until the end. So this will be a little bit of independence on your part. You need to make sure that you're keeping track with those assignments. So if we click this drop down menu, we have 3 long-term assignments. One of them is Digo, and Digo is the digital library. So I'll switch over to what that looks like. When you click on it, it'll bring you to this page, and this gives you a little explanation. Now the NETs, you'll see NET standards, and that's the National Educational Technology Standards for teachers, and there's a set for students as well. And you have a video here that shows you how to use Digo, so make sure you look at that first. And then there's another link to teach you more about Digo. And basically what Digo is a bookmarking tool, and it allows you to put bookmarks and access your bookmarks from any computer with the internet. It also allows you to share with anyone. So as you build your library, you'll be able to share that with other people. So to get content for your library, these are all the different sources that you can use to add to your library. Now, what I'll look for at the end of the semester is that you started in January and you made regular weekly entries January, February, March, April, and into May. That's what I'll look for in May when it's time to grade it. If I look at your Digo account and you didn't start until March or April, you probably won't get much credit for it. So you definitely need to go ahead and get started on that right away. And those 3 items that I pointed to on the home page, the one was Merlot, one was Teachers First, and one was ThinkPort. Those are 3 items that you could add to your Digo library. And so those are some immediate resources that you can start to add. And if we scroll down, here goes some more requirements. So you'll need to definitely have these 3 items, or I should say 6 items. Each one of these is a tag that needs to appear in your library. And when you look at how to use it, it'll show you how to make the tags. So when I log into your library, this is what I should see. So let's take a look at how it's going to look. So this is my library. Here are all the tags over here. And when I open your account, I'll look over here, I'll see creativity, I'll see math, I'll see science, I'll see those headings or those tags that are in the assignment details. And the way you add content here is to click on Add. And notice that you can do a PDF, you can do an image, you can do notes, but we'll do mostly bookmarks. You paste the URL here, so let's say I do, and it's a good idea for you to just paste it, so copy and paste it so you don't make any mistakes, and then click Next. And then there's a place to add a tag. Right here it says Add Tags. Sometimes it'll recommend the tags, but for the ones you have to create, you should go ahead and type it in if you don't see it. And then you click Add New Bookmark, and that'll add it to your library. Eventually, you'll have 6 tags over here, and I'll be able to go to them and click on them, and then I'll see your library. So this is your main library. Notice over here, I have it has the dates stamped on them. So this is how I'll know when you start. So September 1st, it goes back. So when I look at yours, it should progress from this week, January 26th through May 10th. And I should see that progression. There shouldn't be in May where you make 30 entries or you make 20 entries at the last minute just to finish it. I want you to make sure you go through your resources and make sure they're resources that you actually want to use. So I don't want you to just throw them in here just to complete the assignment. This is really for you more than it is anything else. So you should take advantage of it that way. All right, so let's go back to our course modules. And so that's one of them. The next one is a website. And the website you want to set up it'll need to be set up fairly quickly. and you won't need to complete all of the pages right away, but you will need to complete some of the pages right away. So this is an example of what your website will look like by the end of the semester. So this first page, this is the home page, and you'll notice there is a quote. There's a little play button here with a recorded message. There's a little bio, and actually the audio is just this stuff being read, which you'll do. There's an image, and then you'll notice there's this little slideshow. That's not a requirement, but those are little elements you can add. And up here, this is the navigation. These are the pages that you'll need to create. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages total. So you'll set up your website immediately. You'll set it up with these 5 pages immediately. However, the content on these pages will come gradually. So the home page is where you'll start first. You'll get this up and running within the next couple of weeks. Same thing with your calendar. You'll embed a calendar on this page, and you'll enter some events. This is a Google Calendar, and you'll notice that it's from the Google account, and so this calendar will be events that you have from your school, and you can use your placement for that. Then you'll have a student page. Now this page you don't need to do right away. And what you should do is, in your placement, talk to your teacher, observe in your classes, and start to gather and think about the kinds of materials you would want to share with students. For example, now that this weather is the way it is, this is a great way to put resources on here that students could use when they're not in school, because when parents have a snow day, they need to figure out, well, what do we do with the kids all day? So this could be a place where you have reinforcement activities, where you have homework assignments, where you could have pretty much anything you can think of for students, and you'll just think about what you want to put here. And you'll notice this Google form that's embedded on the site, and this is similar to what you fill out, except this is set up to get information from a student. So usually on the first day you hand out a index card and you ask them to write their name and their birthday, their favorite colors, anything they're allergic to, stuff like that. So you'll build a form around that idea. The next one is a parent page. Again, this is not due at the beginning, but you'll make progress throughout the semester. And again, this is stuff for parents. So this is a way for you to start thinking about, how do I get parents involved in my class? Now this is one way to do it, but of course you would need to do more. But this extends to the parent some ideas of things they can do with their kids, things they need to watch out for. There's a lot of bullying stuff here she has, so being a volunteer. So just make sure that you find stuff that's useful to parents. So book lists, this is a great idea, so parents know exactly what to go buy. And this is also good for the summer as well. So students that don't read a lot, if the parents know what they need, they might be able to get those books and hopefully have them read over the summer. And then the professional development page. Now this is where your Google Hangouts go. And you will, in your Google Hangout, you'll be somewhere, you'll record yourself. You'll notice that the person that's talking is here, and then everybody else in the group is down here. And you have 4 of these to do. And you'll embed them on your page just like this, so that your Hangouts, and this is how I access them. So this is another one of those assignments that will only be on your website, and you'll learn how to embed the videos on your page, and that's what your website will look like. But there's so many different templates that yours may look drastically different, but the same idea will be behind this though. Again, when you click on the Wix, this will take you to this page, and then it takes you to the link. It takes you to a getting started page. It shows you all of the pages you need to create, again, that we just reviewed. And then if you scroll down, you'll see information for what goes on each page. It gives you a breakdown of what's on the home page. So it's your image, your welcome and purpose of the website, message. And if you scroll down, you'll need to quote. And then you'll need to use Audacity to do your recording. And it's important that you do Audacity this first time because you'll use it again. Sometimes students will decide they'll do a different way and it doesn't work, and then later on when it's time to use Audacity again, then they don't know how to use Audacity. So make sure you're using Audacity, and you can download it to your computer, and this link will take you there, or you can record, and this shows you how to record with it, or you can go to the labs because they have Audacity installed as well, and that's room 280 and 280A. And then if we keep going, here's your calendar page. It shows you how to create a Google Calendar. Then it shows you how to embed that Google Calendar. And that's fairly easy and should be done fairly quickly. And then we'll scroll down a little bit more. Student and parent resource pages. And then this shows you how to create your student information form. So that's your website. Now again, the first two pages, which are home and calendar, class calendar, you'll start working on those right away, and you should get those completed within the next couple of weeks. I don't mean to be vague about the date, but I want to be flexible in terms of you getting acquainted with a new tool and figuring all this out. It's a little different from all your other classes. The types of assignments and the types of activities that you have to do are a little different, so I want to give you room to be able to do that. So I have a soft due date for these first two pages, but just get on those pages, start working on them, start getting your content on them, just start making progress, and in a few weeks or so I'll start to check to see if those two pages are done. These two pages don't need to be done until the end because you want to give yourself time to do some research to find the content. And then of course this page will start to populate as you do your Hangouts, and the first Hangout will be in a couple of weeks. So we're back to our long-term assignments, and then we have Google Hangouts is the third one, and you click on that, it'll take you to it and give you all the details. And again, this one is going to be very different. It's going to be frustrating for some of you because it's not something you've ever done, and you'll have time to get acclimated. You can ask questions. Once you get your group, that's the first thing you should do, is get your group together and then start thinking about setting these up. I don't give you specific dates for when these Hangouts are due. You have a total of 4 of them to do, and how you decide to do that throughout the semester is up to you, with this one caveat: you cannot do all 4 at the same time. So you can't wait till May to get them done. You can't wait and do 4 in April. You should do 1 every couple of weeks or so. You should give yourself some hard dates for you to get these done. I'll look for those to be on your website. I'll start asking you, have you embedded your first Google Hangout yet? So make sure you're doing that. I won't give you the dates. I'll let your group decide the dates, but you should definitely be working on that. So these are your long-term assignments that you want to go ahead and start chipping away at so that you can get some progress done on them. Digo, you should work on every week. Whenever you're in a class and you're doing reading, if you come across a resource, put it in your Digo and make sure you are hitting those categories. And once you get those categories, at least 1 in each one, then it doesn't matter how many you put in all of them. And you notice I have them set up so they kind of match your methods courses, and you can add other tags as well. As long as you have the ones that are required, you can add as many tags as you want. Alright, so for the foundations assignments, we have the Universal Design for Learning. That'll be the first thing you do. You'll notice that that's due on February 2nd. It's associated with a quiz, so the half of it or part of it is worth 111 points. The quiz is worth 39 points. Be sure to pay close attention to the module because some students rush through it and then they don't do well on the quiz, especially if you're not a good quiz or test taker. Make sure you take your time going through the module and you learn and understand everything. And then the technology standards, this will be associated with your first Hangout. So you'll learn about the National Educational Technology Standards. So there's 2 sets of those, one for students, one for teachers. So after we move from the foundations, there's the common assessments. And these are the 3 assessments that go with the Maryland Teacher Technology Standards. There's 7 of them, but you'll notice that you only see 5 items here. MTTS number 5 will be met when you're in your internship because you have to design a technology-based lessons or a technology integrated lesson. So you won't actually get credit for that until you're in your internship. And then 6 is about inclusion. So when you take LED 415, you'll be exposed to that standard, and you'll do stuff in there that meets that standard. Then we have content applications. So some tools that you'll learn about with technology, some of them are very ubiquitous, meaning you can use them anywhere for anything. Think Word documents, you can use those in math, science, language arts, social studies, physics, biology. Everybody can create a Word document. Then there are some tools that are specific to the content area. For example, a microscope. You don't necessarily use a microscope in English, but you would need it in science. So that's what the content applications are about. So you have a social studies where we'll use a few tools. You'll have podcasting. Here's another one of the recordings you'll do, and that's where you'll need your headset. Same thing with the dynamic software. You'll need to do a recording here. And then you have some science applications, and this one is a simulation. So that's the content applications. Then we move into our interactive devices, and that will be iPads and the interactive boards or smart boards. Then there will be creativity, and this gets into close to the end of the semester, where we do some programming if you like to program, or hopefully you'll learn to like programming. And then we'll do digital storytelling as well, and digital stories will be stuff that we share at the end of the class. We'll build those and then share them. And then there are extra credit opportunities. So you can do a web quest, you can do a technology integrated lesson in your field placement, you can do the hour of code in your field placement, and you'll be able to click on these items and then get more information about them. But you can do any of them at any point in the semester, as long as they're done in your field placement or somehow related to your field placement. It could be whole class, it could be half class, it could be small group. Any way that you can get it into your field placement, I'll be flexible, because I know that you've got to negotiate with your mentor teacher, and that's not always, you won't always get to do exactly what you need to when you want to do it. So these are open to do throughout anytime throughout the semester. So that was just a quick overview of my classes, and like I said, you will submit some things in here, most things in here, but your common assessments will be in live text. Now I have this here because I do have to put the grades in, and that's the only reason that they're listed here. You won't go into my classes and click on this to get to a module. You just need to go to live text to do it, but I do have to build it so that I can transfer the grade here. So this one, you won't really click on anything here when it's time to do those. All of those will be in live text. If you have any questions, please let me know. Go ahead and get started, and hopefully there won't be any snow that'll stop class next week.